So in this video, we're going to be breaking down the 3 mistakes that are killing your account slowly but surely. Let's get straight into the video. So believe it or not, most blown accounts are not bad. Look, they come down to the same few bad habits you guys are doing on repeat over and over, you don't even know it. I'm going to be breaking down each mistake that I see commonly inside my Discord community, the fix for them, and what it looks like on a real chart. So let's jump into step number 1 here. So mistake number 1, I kind of covered this in my past video. Watching everything. There's a large population of people that think that watching 1,000 stocks and trading every single ticker is the best course of action, but ultimately narrowing down your focus and narrowing down your watch list to 4 to 5 stocks like the Mag 7 names or a couple stocks inside of each sector, it's going to be where you start locking in, honing in your focus and not being so broad when you're actually looking to trade. So the mistake, spending your attention across 100 tickers when you know none of them and end up chasing whatever is green. I also fell victim to this trap back in 2020 when I first started trading. I would just sort by percent gainers on the NASDAQ 100, S&P 500, whatever stock was running in the day. I would try to trade that stock and end up losing money every single time. Why? Because I wasn't able to identify the stock's personality, what they do for business, how they even make money. I was just trading random tickers on the stock market just because they're up 1,000% on the day, and I was chasing every single green move. The fix is to focus on a list of 4 to 5 leaders in a strong sector, strong stocks, travel, and packs that we covered in my last video. So narrow down and know them cold. If you guys know how names like Tesla move, you can stick to Tesla trading every single day. Then I move down to other names like Nvidia that I trade very frequently as well. So you guys want to understand that stocks have their own personality, how they trade, how they break out, how they move when you're about to have a false breakout. So having a great understanding of how a stock's personality is going to be a great factor that can lead you to profitability, because you're not focused on 1,000 different setups. You're focused on 4 to 5 names, know their personalities, know how they trade, know the volume on them, and all the good stuff, and the liquidity in the options chain. So looking at SMH here on the daily time frame, you guys can see right here, like we said, the leading group semis are moving together as one, and instead of just focusing on 1,000 different names and stuff, you can pick a sector like semiconductors and just focus on them. So on this day in particular, SMH, the semiconductor ETF, dropped down about 9%. Pretty big drop, as we talked about on big volume. Crazy, would have thought. Also coming down to this break and retest area down here at 569. So then if you go look at some other tickers, you're like ARM, who will guess what happened? Because SMH is dropping, names inside of SMH and semiconductors are dropping drastically as well. On this day alone, ARM dropped $50 or 12.9% to the downside. Micron, like we talked about in another video, potential blow off top, dropped 13% or $130 in a straight line to the downside. Who would have thought? In Nvidia, what's going on over here? Nvidia dropped 6%, pulling back here. Another semiconductor name, let's think of ASML. ASML pulled back 6%. So again, like I said in the first point, focus on 4 to 5 leaders in the sector you want to trade, whether that be technology, healthcare, financials, etc. Because I primarily trade technology, I'm focused on tech names. So when I know semiconductors are leading, I'm going to be focused on the big names: AMD, Micron, Nvidia, AVGO, etc. ARM, like we've been trading the last few weeks here inside of Discord. So I'm not focused on every single name in SMH or the NASDAQ 100. I'm focused on the 4 to 5 leaders in the sector that's in the market, in this case semiconductors. On to the next point here. The second most common mistake I see is trading with no plan. Buying because it feels like it's going to go up is gambling. You have no plan, you have no exit strategy, you're just buying because people on stock twits it's going to go up. Emotional entries are how you end up buying the exact top and then you panic and sell the bottom. This whole saying, buying high, selling low. Never going short on a stock, short the top, buy the bottom, cool. But most of you guys out there, when you start panicking, you're buying the exact top and selling at the exact low because you have no real entry criteria, no strategy, and you're just going based off what people on Twitter said. The fix is to mark the low first and write an if-then statement. If this happens, then I'm going to do this. If it breaks this level, then this will happen. Because you're entering the trade with a clear plan, if this level breaks, then I'm going to do this and sell this level. You would already know what to do. You already know what to do in the bare minimum at each level. For example, let's take a look at a name like Tesla here today. So for example, on Tesla stock, the big levels we're watching were 414, previous all-time highs from 2021. Let me get the horizontal line here. Let me just mark out like 414. So you guys can see this all-time high on Tesla back here at 414. The next level we had marked out was down here around 409, also going back, or 400 in this range. And then we were also watching for the push down lower towards 409 on Tesla stock. Why? Because 414 was a key level we'd marked out, we had already identified, and you also had the 200-day moving average flowing around this area. So inside of Discord, if you had a plan and actually knew what to do, you could say, okay, well, I can see you've had this level of support multiple times around 414. So if 414 breaks, Then I'll look for the push down lower towards $409, an if then statement. Now, if the stock Tesla you're trading in particular breaks back above 414, then I'll exit the trade for a loss because it broke above my stop loss. It broke back above 414, and the trade is now invalid. So just having those two things in mind are going to take you to the next level. You're not going to be too focused on trying to catch a remove just by having a trading plan. Always try to go into every single trade plan with an if-then statement. If ARM breaks above 220, then a trade towards 230, then 240. If ARM then breaks down, but in the other instance, if ARM can't hold below 214, then I'm gonna stop out the trade and move on to the next trade. Just enter in every single trade with a trading plan and focus on having actual strategy and system behind the trades. You're not gambling and buying at highs and selling at lows and doing the exact opposite of buying low and selling high. So on to step number 3 here. The second and the third most critical mistake I see traders making is they have no risk control. They have no stop, no target, they have no risk reward, and one bad trade erases the entire month of good trades because their risk reward's all skewed and they have no risk management. The fix you're going to want is to define the stop, the target, and risk reward before entering every single trade. Keep every loss small and the winners take care of the account. It sounds pretty straightforward, but also you got to struggle with this pretty simple concept in my opinion. So for example, on a name like ARM, one of the trades we took inside of Discord to the downside was watching for a break below 34 to get the gap fill move down lower towards 355. Again, let's try the horizontal line right here. So one of the trades we said was okay, if ARM can get back down below 380, I'm gonna look for the push down towards 355. So in this instance, if you're looking for some downside trades, you guys said, okay, well, if you come back up to this range up here and break and retest below it, I'll put my stops up here and try to trade the downside down this target down towards 355, and you're risking maybe $15-10 to the upside to make $30+ to the downside. So your risk reward alone is already a 3-yard trade, and you're looking extremely solid to the downside on a name like ARM. Again, another example here, let's look at SPY on the daily time frame. So for example, here on SPY, you see this level here at 752. You can put your stops up here in this region around 754, and then your next targets are down here around 746-ish. And then you have the target down here towards 737, and you're risking $4 to $5 to make 15 to 20 to the downside on a swing trade or move down lower intraday. And having a move like we saw today on SPY, or when you guys are watching this video, -4% is not very common. But I'm just saying, if your risk reward is skewed and you're not taking proper risk reward trades, you're gonna blow up your accounts because one bad trade will wipe up the entire month of good trades. Just as long as you can go in every single trade trying to take. Let's say, for example, if every trade you're going into, you're trying to make $20 per trade and you're willing to risk $5 per trade, that means you have a 4-hour trade. That means you have a 4-hour risk reward. So that means that you can lose 4 trades in a row and take one winning trade and make it all back and get back to break even. As long as you guys are doing that, again, it's kind of a far-fetched example of having a 4 risk reward, but I'm just saying for all intents and purposes, if you're risking more money than you're willing to make per trade, you're not going to be profitable, and you're probably going to have to have a really high win rate to sustain having a negative risk reward ratio. So again, just to reiterate the following points here. If you want to be successful, trade a tight focus list, not the whole market. Have 4 to 5 stocks you like trading. Again, I like trading Nvidia, Apple, Tesla, Google, and Meta, and ARM when semiconductors start getting some volatility in them. I like trading 4 to 6 names. I don't branch out too far unless I'm trading futures like Nasdaq or S&P 500. Keep it simple. I'm trading 7 names. I've been doing the same thing the last 3 to 4 years now. I haven't changed anything about my stocks I look at. I keep it very simple, very focused. I'm not focused on attacking the whole market and scalping the entire market. I have a very focused list. Number 2, mark the level and have a plan before entering every single trade. Again, have an if-then statement. If Nvidia breaks below 216, then I'm looking for the move down lower towards 212. But if it breaks back below 218, I'm stopping on the trade for a loss and moving on to the next trade because it broke above my stop loss. I have to get out the trade before it gets too far extended and I start losing so much money that I'm willing to risk. And the third point, define the stop, target, and risk reward every single trade. Again, going back to my last example on Nvidia, if Nvidia breaks below 216, you have stops at 218, you're trying to get a move down towards 206, you're risking $2 to make $6 to the downside. Define the stop, target, and risk reward every single time. As long as you can do those, if you guys can do those 3 things and change your 3 habits, this is the gap between a blown account and a consistent one. So if you guys like the video, be sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video I'm posting in the next 4 days. I post every single day on TikTok, so follow over there as well. And stay tuned for the next video. Peace.